Italian Football Podcast.
No, that brings us on nicely to the TV deal because Gravina, the FIGC president, gave the biggest car crash interview I've seen for a long time. And it just sums up everything that we've said in this podcast for the last 3 years about how clueless these people are and how they just... The simplest way of saying this is they just don't get it. They just do not get and understand how to sell a product. You know, selling life jackets on the Titanic. You know, Italians are so bad at marketing. I can say that because my parents are Italian. I can say that. I don't care if you call me stereotypical. Italian people in Italy cannot sell anything. They haven't got a clue. They are absolutely
I disagree
clueless.
with that. I disagree with that because Italian food, Italian produce, Italian fashion, Italian music, all of these things sell, but Italian football is the thing that has problems monetizing. That's because the people in charge of Italian football are corrupt, incompetent, and archaic in how they run things. And
those things sell themselves. Italian food, Italian...
Why doesn't Italian football sell itself then?
It did in the 90s because it had all the best players in the world. Now it doesn't.
Why did it have the best
players
in the world? Well, this is what I'm saying. The people in charge...
Not because of how they were selling it. It wasn't because of how they were selling it. It had all the best players in the world. It was nothing to do with marketing. You know, it was just now they haven't got a clue how to market it.
No, I think it's Italian. It's an Italian football problem more than anything else. I think Italian football is run by incompetent, corrupt people who don't live in who have an archaic mindset, and the footballing world is so the competition is so fierce that if you're not top of your game, you don't succeed. It's that's the overall arching generalization that you can make on Italian football. I mean, his comment, I have to read it out. It is so clueless. It's clear that the offer must also be directly proportional to the quality of the product that is placed on the market. We all thought, perhaps we were a little deluded, that the results of the Italian teams would give them an appeal. But the question we must ask ourselves about Made in Italy, which Italy has because it has a force engraved in history, is whether the quality of the product we offer is right. On this, we probably need to reflect on a much broader and much more complex project. No shit, Sherlock. That's my only reaction to that. No shit, Sherlock.
It's unbelievable.
You thought Fiorentina reaching the Conference League, Inter reaching the Champions League, and Roma reaching the Europa League was
because this is exactly what I'm saying. This is the way that they've always been. They think that the league will sell itself. They think that just because they've had 3 teams in the final, that automatically that means all of a sudden the league, the TV deal is going to double just because they've got 3 teams in the final. I mean, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Of course it doesn't work like that. You have archaic stadiums that are not fit for purpose. You don't know how to market your league. You put your marketing eggs in the wrong baskets time and time and time again, from North America to the Middle East, North Africa, to Europe, to everywhere. You had a genius chance, a brilliant chance. You literally won the lottery when the CVC deal came before they went to Spain. You turned that down because you were too greedy and you couldn't look past your own nose. And now you're wondering why everything's going tits up.
And you have a social media team, that run the social media who speak English like my
Borat English. It's
yes.
Borat English.
The Italian Borat.
English. No, it's Borat English. It's literally Borat English. The stat overload that doesn't mean anything.
I was going to say like
what was it? Average apex height. What the WTF?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, they still use that 3 years on, and no one's corrected it. I was going to compare it to my grandparents who were in England. They moved over to Italy, moved into England in the 1950s, and they were here for 40 to 50 to 60 years, and they're all passed away now. And in that time, they probably learnt about 10 English words, and they would do a better job on social media selling the Serie A than these clowns that are in charge.
This is the problem. The people this is what I mean about the corruption. Look at the people they've hired to run these things. It's not based on it's not like there aren't people in Italy who aren't competent. Of course there are. They don't.
No, but the problem is the
they
problem
don't get
isn't
their
even
foot
that,
through the
Nima. The
door
problem
because
is that they won't even realise this is an issue, Nima. They don't even realise this is a problem. They won't look at their social media feed and think to themselves, "Oh, wait, hang on a minute. We're not doing a very good job there. We better. They think they're doing a good job. I've spoken
this is
to
exactly
people.
what I mean. The reason for that is because the wrong people are hired, because they're hired on basis of whose uncle or son or daughter or niece and nephew they are, or who they know, as opposed to what they know and what they can
that's
do.
true. That's true. But at the same time, they cannot recognize, because they don't understand marketing. They cannot recognize what is a good marketing campaign. What is, how you're supposed to sell, even as simple as how you put out a tweet or how you put out a Facebook post. They do not get it at all. And I mean, you could go on and on and on. I was speaking to somebody that's in the media that was telling me how they're going big about trying to sell Serie A in North America at the moment. They're making all these investments to try and build Serie A in North America, and then what did the Serie A then decide to do? They decide they make an announcement that Juventus are going to be playing many more games next season at 12:30 in the midday game, the 12:30 game, 11:30
6:30 a.m. in the US.
So what time? So that's like 5:30. Wait, 11:30
6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m. East Coast, and so what time will that be in the other side of the country?
I was like middle of the 3:30
Juventus are by far the most popular Serie A team. You want to break North America, right? You spend all this supposed investment. You're boasting, and these people, these execs, I've been told, are boasting about what an amazing job they're doing at growing the league out in North America and growing the league around the world, which is a load of nonsense, by the way. And then they go and make the decision to put the games at a time when the people in North America are literally just 2 hours into their sleep from a night out. So it's like, it's just, you just have to laugh. You just have to laugh.
This is what I mean. It's like they're clueless, completely clueless. And
I mean, this is simple stuff as well. I mean, this is stuff like, honestly, I think this is something like the 12-year-old me would get, and I'm thinking, they're not getting it, and these guys are supposed to be the experts.
They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, and it's
and that's the reason for this TV deal, this domestic TV deal. Which, if you listened to our show last week, we discussed about this and what a disaster this is about the gap in TV revenue being absolutely astronomical in terms of overseas TV deals, which we've known about for a long time between the Serie A and the Premier League and the other leagues, actually, the other top 5 leagues. Now we're seeing that the domestic TV deals in Serie A are a complete disaster as well. They'd been okay. They'd been comparable to all of the leagues, and actually not that far, but still quite far behind. I think it was 900 million to get it right this time.
Yeah, 900 million.
900 million was the last one, and that was compared to, I think, about 1.8, 1.9 billion in the Premier League. And now in the first bid, I think it got to about 500 million. So it's a disaster. It's a total disaster. It's a total disaster.
And then also the fact that they gave it to DAZN, who have run an app that doesn't work. I mean, it's ridiculous. And internet connectivity in that country is an issue. And these are government problems. No, it is what it is. It's unfortunately, the football is beautiful, but the people who run it are grossly incompetent and care only about their paydays, and that's why nothing will change and until everything goes to hell, because that's how it works in Italy. Things have to go so badly pear-shaped before any change.
Do you know what I think, Nima? I think that the only way that Serie A ever gets saved in terms of from a marketing point of view, I mean, this is only one of many things, is bringing in some people from England to run it. I honestly think, we sit here and we're critical about the Premier
Yeah, but
League.
I've said for years that in order for that, this is why I want more North American owners, and
English or Americans. But I mean, I think
yeah.
English would be better because English understand football culture better than Americans understand. Americans understand marketing. They understand the numbers and the spreadsheets, but they don't understand the culture of football as well as the English do.
No, I think you need a majority of foreign owners in the Serie A, so they can first of all agree on a president, so they can agree on having a structure, and then vote that way through, so that we can have some order in this league. Because at this point, the people there are just they don't care. It's about lining their own pocket.
Just hire a team of English people to market the league. Simple as that, because they get it. They understand how to do it. Italians, I've got no faith in Italians ever being able to do it. They just do not get it. And everybody that I speak to that are in Italy, have worked in the league, that have come from outside Italy originally, they all say the same thing. And then that because we've spoken about it as well. They all say the same thing. They just do not get it at all. I'm speaking to Adrian Del Monte, who works for, he says exactly the same thing. He finds it unbelievable sometimes.